friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia. Today we are getting into a pick a card reading. What are people realizing about you? If you do not know me, my name is Felicia and I am a human and civil rights advocate. I run a nonprofit called Divas Can Manifest, and we most recently launched our first ebook on feminine hygiene. If you did not know, Divas Can Manifest sponsors this free tarot channel. We look to impact women's health worldwide, and one key aspect of women's health is your feminine hygiene. So go ahead and check out the link down below and download the best feminine hygiene guide backed by empirical evidence and health science research. So I would definitely love to see you get a copy and let me know what you guys think about it, as well as watching the discussion guide video down below over on my lifestyle channel. All of the proceeds to this channel, as well as my lifestyle channel, all of the tips, donations, and all of the proceeds from Cosmic Intelligence, that is our community spiritual shop, go back to our nonprofit organization to impact women's health. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. You can check the description box for all of the information about me and anything that you may need to know about how Felicia Natrice Tarot was founded and our reason of being, more about our advocacy work, more ways to get in touch down below. But without further ado, we have 4 cards for you to choose from for your pick a card. We're getting to the realization. So realization is the frequency that supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. So this is one of my favorite pick a cards to do, because it's all about you becoming your highest expression in the world and how people are realizing that highest expression. So let's get into it. Pile 1, you are the Midas. Pile 2, you are the addict. Pile 3, you are the mediator. And pile 4, you are the Samaritan. Choose from the overhead selection, the concept, the description, or the timestamps down below, and I will see you in your pile. Hi, pile 1, welcome to your selection. So you chose the Midas. Entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. So I feel like these are a lot of people who may be watching you speak a lot, but if they're not, they are realizing some type of ability that you've had. It's like what you are creating is literally turning into gold. And you are like the standard. So everybody's, especially as this entrepreneur or creative ability, you are the standard that everybody holds themselves against. So if you see a lot of people copying your work, if you see a lot of people mimicking your work, it's quite literally because your highest expression shows them the highest standard of things. You may be like, I don't know, something about you are the best at what you're doing, and it is turning into gold. It is something about you guys have monetized yourselves, or you have been able to, something that you're creating or producing is a representation of life's riches. So people, they see you and they see you delighting in, you look very luxurious for some people. But it's also just like you represent the good thing in life. You represent the finer things in life. Somebody's name starts with the letter E. So you represent the good things in life. You represent the finer things in life. You have like a high quality creative ability or entrepreneur ability. So people, people come across your work and they automatically start adjusting their work, or they try to race up real fast to try to align with your standard of quality. It is actually, it's kind of annoying, but like, it is also just like, it comes with the territory, because if you're not like the lead dog, then the scenery never changes. Because something about you come into a market, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and you have turned something into gold, or you've established some very strong roots and a high quality, like you raised the bar, and everybody else kind of needed to step their cookies up when they came across you. It's like your work is so good, so like properly aligned as well. So it's like people are seeing you flow gracefully with this entrepreneur or creative ability. It is just happening so effortlessly, and it is so strategic. And you are getting, I'm hearing, the fruits of your labor as well. You're literally, people are seeing you have the Midas touch. It's like you speak something into existence, and then that, you know, your reality match it. Like, I'm hearing that you are someone who literally are like, the proof is in the pudding. You put your money where your mouth is, and you do the things that you say you're going to do. A lot of these people, they may try to like mimic your standard or mimic your work, but it's clear that they don't have any proof. It's clear some people here, especially if these are like other authors or poets or like people who want to write something about you writing a book, it literally, somebody here, they keep showing up and they trying to copy your business strategy or your business structure. And this person, you keep seeing typos in their work. This person doesn't know how to punctuate. They don't know how to use correct grammar. They don't know how to put a syntax together. Somebody here who's a writer, who claiming to be a writer or a poet, this person literally does not know how to write. And they see your standard of work, your quality of work is so high, like it's so good. It's such a high degree. It makes them feel so mediocre. But ultimately, what you're showing people is the correct way to do things. It's like, you know, people, you might see people copying or mimicking your creative or entrepreneurial spirit, but really, you know, it's because you're delighting in this richness. You're delighting in this standard of quality. You have a good, you have like a, they see you have like such a great quality of life and standard. It is quite naturally that people are going to try to mimic that so that they can have like, you know, they can be delighted too. Okay. I'm also getting that people are realizing that you have like a lot of knowledge, like you have a wealth of information. Some of you guys are know-it-alls, and this is kind of annoying to people, but it kind of feels like you're an all-star, especially with this Midas touch. The way that you're bringing all of your talent, skills, and gifts together, and an entrepreneur or creative ability is like creating a lot of wealth for you. And people can tell, like, that's why you see people trying to copy your business. It's because they're obsessed with your wealth, right? And it's because like they know that this ability, I knew this was going to come out, they know that this ability is leading to a lot of wealth, right? Your high standard or high quality work is leading to a lot of wealth. But some of these people, no matter how much they try to copy or mimic your business structure, they will never receive the highest honor, especially if they keep showing up and they're not professional. They keep showing up with typos. They keep showing up. They don't know how to read and write. It's literally nobody respects them, and your audience is most definitely not their audience. Something about you, you have the market authority. And like I said, I'm getting a lot of B2B work as well, business to business, where you're actually influencing a lot of other people's business. So your influence is so, it is like you have a high magnitude of influence because of this B2B work that you're doing, especially. But it's also like, you know, these other businesses seeing you come into the market and outshine them, you know, raise the standard, raise the bar quite a bit. Okay. So we have coherence. We have the first house. They just wanted to slide out. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. That is beautiful. It's so on par with what we've been saying. People have realized that you have healed your mind, or you've done some type of cognition work. You've rewired your mind. You're very balanced. You do not let your, like, people are realizing that you do not let your heart be a bully to your mind, and you harmonize these frequencies accordingly. They feel that literally through the Midas touch and your wealth and your delight in life's riches, and you turning this entrepreneurial or creative thing into gold, was your harmonizing of your heart and your mind. They feel like literally through the frequency of realization, we know that this golden life, this life's riches that you have is a heart-centered truth. This is so beautiful. They feel like this heart-centered truth was harmonized with your mind, and this created this delight. This created this entrepreneurial spirit. This created this creative ability. This created all of this riches. This was the reality that you desire. Your heart-centered truth, you pouring from your heart, created the reality that you desire. Okay. Power 1. We have the first house. So, you know, people are realizing something about the way that you project yourself. So let's get into it. Somebody's name starts with the letter S or letter E. I'm hearing that you project yourself in a very icy way. It is very cold and calculated, but they know that you have a big heart. It's not that you're not delighting. It's not that you're not this, you know, compassionate person. I feel like, you know, what they have what they're not seeing is the coherence. What maybe they're not seeing you harmonize this mind and heart. But I feel like something that has been perhaps something that could have been a bullet to your heart, or something that could have been irrational going on in your mind. They feel like you've gone within, you've done a lot of introspection, and the way that you project yourself is not, you don't project yourself in a very emotional way. Something, especially if these are dealing with people who have like tried to do something negative to you, copy you, steal something from you. Some of these people are getting sued for infringement upon your intellectual property. If they continue, I'm hearing some people have an addictive pattern of behavior where they literally cannot control themselves. They don't have any integrity because they are so obsessed and addicted to the way your life's riches, your gold. Somebody might have even stolen gold from you. But I feel like, you know, yeah, Cancer. I'm hearing something about a negative feminine energy. This person, I'm hearing that because they have not been able to like stop themselves from stealing your entrepreneurial creative ability, they might be getting sued. If they don't stop their behavior, something about the authority that you are gaining, your network connection. Some of you guys have friends in high places. I'm hearing you have friends that work for social media platforms. You have friends that are, you know, famous and rich. And I'm getting that if these people do not stop this, this infringement upon your intellectual property, they are going to get shut down. Something about you are going to either, I'm hearing something about you going to exercise your Second Amendment rights, for one, if they're posing as health and safety issues. But I'm also getting that if these are people who continue to try to steal entrepreneurial creative ability, you might just, you know, contact your friend at Instagram, contact your friend at YouTube and say, shut those accounts down, and they will never be heard from or seen again. Okay? Somebody's name that starts with letter A. Okay? So somebody, you know, these people, I'm getting that they should be very, like, they see you through the first house. They see that the way that you protect yourself, the way that you project yourself is very, it's like you are hoarding some type of emotions. You're not, you don't display your emotions. I'm hearing something about you all about business, or you have a very professional aesthetic, or you are all, you let people know that if they should not come for your crown. So it is going to be their worst nightmare. It's like these people, especially these like dark web accounts that be growing real fast. Something about a dark web account that grew real fast. They like the South Node peoples. I'm hearing that the holy water on the infomercial. That was just showing itself to me on the bottom of the deck. These people, I'm getting that they are losers at life, and they're literally some clout chasers or somebody who has no connection. They literally don't represent any wealth. They represent like getting attention for all the wrong reasons. For like they see you as an entrepreneur and creative ability, turning this thing into gold, which means you actually have skill, strategy, and intelligence. These people who you're seeing showing up, they are not smart. Somebody's name is Ashley. They're not smart. They are not, like, they don't have writing skills or like public speaking skills. Somebody here, they don't know that you have a lot. Like some people, you have either you're the person in the high place, or you have like a lot of like your high net worth connection. Especially some of you guys do this B2B work. They, especially as this Midas, something about them, people are realizing that you will shut them down, or you will put their lights out. People are realizing that you will take it there. Okay. So I'm hearing something about this isn't what they want. I'm getting that they like people, something about this realization, especially this Cancer. I'm hearing this person is losing this secret competition that they went in with you. It's like something where somebody, You know, people may be realizing that this person that tried to steal your your creative ability, they have no integrity, and that they have had this compulsive need to like steal aspects of your creativity. Like, it's like somebody here cannot stop themselves from stealing your work or like from mimicking you, and this person, they're about to get shut down. Okay, you about to shut their account down. I'm hearing it's about to happen immediately. Okay, so I'm hearing that this person, I'm hearing that they better like go off and do their own thing, because something about this, you're going to, something where you are going to, they will not have a home. If they, like, you taking away something from them, it's like I'm hearing something where you're going to take away this person's money, and they will be left without a home. Something like that, okay? But on a more positive note, you know, people are realizing that you are this hermit. It's like the way that you project yourself is a very professional way. People see you as very private. You don't talk a lot about your emotions or your reality that you're creating for yourself. They just show you coming up and creating this, you know, you having this creative and entrepreneurial ability, you sharing the gold, right? And they feel like this is because you are like this hermit. You're always studying, meditating, and searching for knowledge within yourself. Some of these people, they see you never like leaving home. You're always studying. You're always working. You're never really doing something where they may have seen you get out recently, and they're like, okay, you got out. Okay, go ahead then. All right, I see you getting out. And everybody was like, okay, we see you, right? Because you're always like at home, or you're at the library reflecting on these deep issues, okay? And I feel like all this introspection through the hermit has been used to, like, you know, support like this solitude that you've been seeking, has been intently to focus on your inner life, so that you can create this coherence, so that you can create the reality that you desire. It served your personal, you know, your personal creativity, right? They see you as this introverted person who's very creative. It's like all the extroverts around you, I'm hearing they may be gaining, like, they're getting a lot of attention, but not for the right reasons, for one. Or two, these people they were very social, and they have been obsessed with like clout chasing, social climbing, and you can tell that they're like being overly, like, they've been so focused on their external world and not doing enough introspection. You can tell that these people lack creativity. So like all these people, especially like you guys may be a Virgo yourselves as well, with the hermit showing up, but I'm getting that some of you guys, it's like you're very into the mind, you're very into cognition, you're very into the way we think and the way we, you know, I'm getting your intelligence is just so highlighted to a lot of these people. And it's not only a creative ability, but like a lot of I've been reading a lot of quotes recently that says like creativity is really intelligence applied. So like people are seeing this creative ability in a very intelligent way, and they feel like it's because you study so much, you've done so much introspection, and now after doing all this meditating and studying, you're out and searching for knowledge, you're out sharing these riches with everybody, right? You're sharing it. It's like you're more than willing to share your creative ability and entrepreneurial spirit with someone. But when some people kind of overstep that boundary when they start stealing aspects of your business, or they try to like literally copy and paste, and they have no, like, they can't find their own aesthetic, they can't find their own knowledge. So a lot of what you're doing, you know, it kind of feels like you help people harmonize, right? You help them harmonize what's in their mind and hearts. So you might be dealing, especially if this is B2B work, you might be dealing with a lot of people who, you know, have similar interests as you, but they end up doing something to like overstep. Like they end up doing something to infringe, and then you have to like sue them, or you have to shut their accounts down. I'm getting somebody's account is really getting shut down because if they continue to try to steal, like, something about this is infringement. So you will have to decide whether this is just like influence over somebody who has like the similar interests as you, you know. And I'm getting a lot of them are starting to realize like that they have taken a lot of naive risk when it came to infringing and overstepping the Midas, okay? They are not, this is not going to end well for them. They've been taking naive risk. I'm hearing something about you. You're about to end their home. You're about to shut their accounts down. And I'm hearing that they're dealing with a star, okay? So a star, and this is not, I'm hearing that the way the way that you're projecting yourself is you're like all eyes are on you, because you are literally like a star. You're like the center of everybody's attention, and they are, I'm hearing they're really messing with the wrong one, because they're nowhere near a star. They're nowhere near the Midas touch. So it's either like something where a star is going to, like, you're becoming a star. Some of you guys are becoming, like, you're getting a lot of influence, a lot of recognition, a lot of fame, or you already are celebrities and fame status. And his person, they don't realize who they're dealing with. Something where you're going, you have too much power. So their behavior, some of them, they're irrational. Especially if they thinking that they have like more, if they're thinking that their numbers are bigger than yours. You are a entrepreneurial spirit. Some of you guys don't care about being famous or celebrities. You have lots of wealth. And this person doesn't understand that 20,000 today can be shut down tomorrow. I'm getting something about somebody who's doing the same things as you. This person don't realize that they're dealing with a star with a lot of wealth. And this person is like, I'm hearing that this person is like a bomb. This person's name that starts with the letter A. I'm hearing this person is like a bomb. They don't have wealth. They're not professional. They don't know how to read and write. And they just, like, they see you delighting in life's riches, and they hate like something about you. You are literally, you have like international recognition. You're very well respected in the community. You have a lot of wealth, and I feel like it's because of the studying that you've done. You know, people are realizing that you have been burdened by your studies. LOL. People are, because you are this, like, I'm getting something about you. You may have been like a MBA candidate, or you studied business in school. Something where you guys have went to prestigious, you know, business, like, I'm hearing business MBA, like you've been enrolled in like prestigious programs. I'm hearing top 20 universities, and it's like associated with a lot of prestige. And people are realizing, like, some of these people didn't know this, right? But people are saying that because you've had this high intelligence and like this scholastic achievement, you know, that you've been burdened around for your whole life. So you know, this is why, like, now that after hermetizing and studying for all your life, now you're like this entrepreneur with this creative ability. Okay, people are definitely saying this, you know, especially related to, like, you know, your education. Okay, your education is big in this pile. Okay, so this is beautiful. People are saying that you're working so hard, and that you always in some cozy socks and flip-flops and just studying, like you ain't never dressed up. People are saying you ain't never dressed up and you're always studying. But then they may have seen you go out recently, like sometimes they see you going on a date, or they see you do something related to your beauty, love, and artistry, and they see you like, okay, you got out, okay, nice. Because you always somewhat studying and searching for knowledge so that you can, you know, share your life's riches through your entrepreneurial creative ability. Okay, yeah, there's somebody here who is watching your, you know, your Venus, your beauty, love, artistry, your food, your indulgences, and this is literally through this, like, Venus, you are a star. Your beauty, like, it's not only that you have, like, it's like your heart is reflected through Venus, like your beauty and your love life, but also your mind with your intelligence. And people are realizing that you have, like, you know, you've been able to harmonize all this scholastic achievement with all this beauty and artistry, and now you are creating the optimal reality that you desire. LOL, I love that. Okay, I love that. Yeah, Aries, a ram, somebody who's aggressive and angry at you because of your beauty. Yeah, I'm getting that this person was violent, or they hate you for having a lot of sex and a lot of, like, you know, being very desired for your beauty, but you also have, like, brains as well. And they just, like, this person, I'm hearing that they into black magic, or, you know, they the dark web or something like that. This person, they are moving energy, or they're just so, they're so obsessed with your physical pleasures, your wealth, your security, your possessions. They obsessed with your masculine, your man, and how they desire you for your beauty, and like how they like are, like how they influence your art, especially if you're a Virgo. Somebody here, this Pisces, this person, somebody that starts with the letter R, the way that they are, like, they're so obsessed with your love life and how your masculine supports your growth, and how your masculine influences your work and it influences you on a creative level. But they know that you're like this pleasing, sensual touch. They know that you're this feminine. They know that you're, patient and in this, like, calm and sensitive feminine through Venus, right? Your beauty is so highlighted to this person. But then they see that you're always, like, you like to be by yourself, or you're always studying and meditating. Like, your circle is really small, right? So some of these people, they literally just hate you because you don't associate with everybody, and that you have this, like, these physical pleasures in your life, like this masculine, this home life, this wealth and security, right? Like, these people are literally just rams. They're literally just aggressive and angry at you because you're so desired by masculines, okay? Something where they saw you, a nude image of you and a masculine, or they saw a sensual relationship that you had with somebody, and they grew very angry. Some people here, they're trying to do, like, they're trying to shift the energy, or they're trying to do something negative. A Gemini, or this person's name that starts with the letter A, but they can also be a Taurus or Aries. I'm getting these people, they literally, I'm hearing that you have a lot of people awake at night because they see that you have a lot of gold. They see that you have a lot of delight in your life. Through Taurus energy, you have a lot of security, wealth, and possessions. They see that you are immovable. So it's weird that some of these people, even when I try to, like, they try to come at your neck, but, like, you remain the authority. You remain bigger than them. You remain, you remain one, like, the psychic advantage. You remain having, like, the psychic advantage over them. You remain the person who has the most knowledge and the greatest value. You remain the best. And it's like, they are just so angry at you for having beauty and artistry in the love life. So some of these people will literally become violent with you, okay? They literally will become violent with you because they hate that you are so desired for your bum and your body and your beautiful hair as well. Something about you wearing your natural blonde hair, or something about your beautiful hair, long hair. And I'm also getting, like, the symmetry within your face. Somebody with a big forehead, or somebody who wears a bang a lot, okay? I'm getting that somebody here, they see that it's not just about your beauty. It's about you having this beautiful mind as well. It's about you having this entrepreneurial spirit. But I think we got enough, friends, about the realization. So let's wrap. Let's see what you need to know about this ram, because it feels like some people here, because they just are so burdened by your sensuality and your body, your love and beauty, so it quite literally could be a health and safety issue over this physical body, right? Somebody here wants to be violent. I'm here, this Pisces that starts with the letter R, something about them, they've done something to gain wealth or something like that. And some of them, they may be trying to do something to, as a security breach, okay? Something about a man. I'm hearing something about a man. There's a security breach because of a man. This person, a third party, this Pisces, they hate the fact that this man is in your domestic space. They hate the fact that this person, you have an immovable place in this person's life. And so some of them, they have been going to war with you. And it's like, some of you guys have this man's child. Like, it's like something about you. Something about y'all got this man's child. Or you're literally like, there's so much security, wealth, and possessions between the two of you. This person is just like, I'm hearing they're on their phone watching everything that you do. I'm hearing up at night watching your images or your portraits. Something about them, they're watching something that you've written, okay? They're watching your skin, okay? Something about your skincare, okay? Your material goods. These people, I'm hearing, oh my God, y'all, I don't even know how much, it's just so much around Venus, you know, that is like causing these rams to become violent. It's because because of your sex, okay? And the fact that you are a leader, okay? They hate the fact that you have everything you want, and they just sit there with a filter on or trying to look like you. Pile 1, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Cups. Okay, so I definitely feel like a lot of this is like a wishful thinking. It is not really like this person who is, you know, in a competition with you or have grown violent and aggressive towards you in some type of way. I feel like this is not the first time you come into this kind of challenge. This is a karmic challenge around your entrepreneur and creative ability. This is your path to becoming a star, especially if this is around a man. Y'all, this person has already lost, right? You know, we have been seeing this come across, the Two of Pentacles come across a lot for the enemy's next move. A lot of what this is residual. These people have already lost to you. They're just like, this Two of Pentacles represents them being burdened at night, right? This Two of Pentacles represents them still trying to harmonize their mind and their perception around their loss. Some of them went into a secret competition with you, grew violent, aggressive. Some of them were literally like very open about this. They grew aggressive and violent towards you because of a sensual relationship that you were having with a man. They were never going to, this man never wanted them. They were never going to get picked. Somebody's name that starts with letter A or a letter R or a letter B or a letter P. These men never wanted them. I'm getting that these love triangles were never real. You have been in an immovable spot in this person's life. They were never going to leave your, like, this domestic space. I'm hearing, I don't care if the house on fire. I ain't never leaving. Somebody here that has been supporting your growth. These people, I'm hearing that you guys live in a castle together. I'm hearing something about a wreath on the door, some decorations, holiday decorations on the door. You guys love each other. This home is full of love. It may not be perfect, but I'm getting, especially some of you guys, you are this person's like everything. They're obsessed with your body, right? Whoever this was thinking that they were going to be in a love triangle was delusional. This man and this masculine was never going to leave you for them. This is a karmic challenge because people see you as the star. They see that your home is wealthy and has a lot of, like, it's a sensual relationship. It's happy, but it's also representative of security, wealth, and possessions. These people will they will try to attack your heart because they know that this relationship and this creation is your heart. But you are the leader. You are the leader here. Don't try to shirk yourself around, like, because people are going to be so angry because of your beauty. You know, the way that you project yourself, some people may become very intimidated by this because you are also this beauty. But their weaker and less fortunate is their responsibility. You are the leader. Be assertive. It's not, you know, the reason why you're a leader is not just because of your beauty. You've also had this entrepreneur and creative ability. You've turned into gold from harmonizing your mind with your heart. This mind and heart has nothing to do with your physical beauty. They just hate you for having it. Don't be afraid to be assertive because you think it'll offend somebody because, oh my God, I gotta walk on eggshells because I'm so beautiful. We don't give a fuck. It's not our fault that you were not blessed with intelligence, creative ability, that you did not work hard in your life, you didn't study. It's not our fault that you were not blessed with beauty. It's not our fault. These people, this is a karmic challenge. You will continue. This is not going to be the last time. These people are violent and aggressive because your body is sensual, pleasing, and highly desired for sex. You literally are pleasure walking, and then you created a reality that you desire it as well. It comes with the territory, B. I love you so much. Let me know how this resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the addict. Now, this came out in the shadow aspects, okay? We have compromises, integrity, and honesty allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your spirit, okay? So let's see what's going on here. So some of you guys, this involves somebody, I don't know if this is you or somebody who has a drug addiction, okay? But I'm getting that, ooh, just wanted to flip out, so we're just gonna take it, okay? We have the third eye chakra, okay? So this is about you, I'm getting something about people are realizing or having a third eye activation, and they're gaining a higher awareness. They have integrated some type of inner knowing that they've had. People have been realizing that you have been dealing with somebody who has had, or this, I don't know, something, whoever this is, there's been someone who has had an addiction. Somebody who has been compromising their integrity and honesty, and they have not had any authority over their inner spirit. They have realized that you have had a psychic power around somebody, an intuition around something or someone, and you've been able to discern this person who has been addicted to you, obsessed, okay? Somebody who has had no control over their mental faculties. They have had no control over their inner spirit. Somebody who, I'm hearing somebody here who's obsessed with your hair, okay? They're obsessed with your hair texture and how somebody's name is Maya. Somebody here who's obsessed with your hair texture and your hair growth, your hair care system, your hair routine. These people have been able, there's been an inner knowing that people are finally becoming, they're bringing this, they're integrating this inner knowing around this person. This Pisces, okay? The truth is out about somebody who has had no integrity and no honesty. I'm getting something where somebody who has, I don't know, something where they've been addicted to competing with you. They've been, like, they haven't been able to control this. Even though it doesn't make any sense. It's like somebody putting out a hair care line that doesn't have long hair. Like, I'm not, like, have y'all ever seen, like, these natural hairstylists, right? I'm not going to get my hair trimmed and treated by a natural hairstylist who ain't got no hair. Like, I'm not about to go and buy a, you know, I'm not going to go and subscribe to somebody who clearly doesn't look well. Like, I'm not, like, somebody who's preaching something. Like, I'm not going to go, like, follow somebody who's never had any skincare struggles. I'm not going to go and be like, oh my God, I'm going to buy your skincare manual because, like, and follow your skincare regimen, and you've never had any skincare issues. Like, you've never overcome. It's like people are starting to realize that, like, somebody who hasn't had any value proposition, like, I'm not going to take advice from somebody who's clearly, like, not successful. So people are starting to, like, gain, and, like, there's, like, something where they've had an intuition and inner knowing about this, and now people are starting to realize the truth, okay? So, you know, this has been very awkward for everybody. So especially this Pisces, they keep doing, they keep rushing projects to try to compete with you. And it's like, you are not making sense, or you're not yielding any positive results. You clearly don't have integrity and honesty. And this person has literally been, you know, they haven't been able to, like, I don't know, be well, you know, off of you, okay? I'm hearing something that with Pluto's energy, something that dealt with an obsession. This obsession has had authority over this person's inner spirit page. This obsession has had an authority over this person's inner spirit. They're obsessed with your hair growth. They're obsessed with your hair type and, you know, how you style your hair and beauty. And I'm hearing that this person has not had any integrity, and they have not been honest. So people are starting to see, you know, with this third eye, most recent third eye activation, you know, something that, you know, they're not imagining this person's obsession. They've been trying to, like, people have been trying to ignore this. They've been trying to pretend not to see this person who has been obsessed with you and a power struggle with you when they clearly don't have any self-control or success. And even if this person has been yielding success, it hasn't been, you know, due to their integrity and honesty. They've been compromising their integrity and honesty. They've been rushing projects, rushing, rushing to steal from you. Okay. And people have had an inner knowing about this, and they finally are starting to realize the truth. Yeah, this Cancer. Somebody here has been trying to steal your music. And I feel like this situation, I just saw the word wasteful. People are realizing that now that the truth is out, right? It's like this, people are realizing that this was a waste. That this person is just materialistic. They hated you for having security, wealth, and possessions. They hated you for having a nice home. And that they have been just very irritated and obsessed with the display of your home life. Okay. They see you being very flirtatious, romantic, and sweet. They see you, you know, the time that you've been spending with your family. And some of them, they have been obsessed. Some of them, they went and got pregnant. Or they literally have been just like, they've been obsessed with trying to, like, you know, to have like a need to control. Like, and it's like they were never the authority. Like, if this is a lover, this person has had an ex-partner that has been obsessed with your beauty, and the fact that your masculine was cherishing you. You know, they hated the fact that you have a rich emotional world, a traditional relationship, loves and cherishes spending time with your family and your home, and have this sensitive relationship, and, you know, where somebody is cherishing you and is very caring and thoughtful and affectionate towards you. These people have been obsessed with this home, okay? And this is why, because they've been obsessed with this home because it represents your rich emotional world, and they're just materialistic. Like, so they've been wanting to like steal your home and steal your rich emotional realm. Like, this person has been like, people are starting to like discern this person. Like, people are angry about this. People are very angry about this, right? You know, these people are very materialistic, and they see you have this beautiful home and this beautiful emotional realm. And it's not about, like, you know, any materials that they see in your home. It's not because you were superficial. You know not to crave material things. These people, they saw your home, they saw the material things, and they saw it as a sign of prosperity and a rich emotional realm. And they just been trying to, like, I don't know, steal, okay? Steal from it. Saw that you were happy and jovial. Like, girl, sit down with your addicted, obsessed, big, nasty ass. Like, some of these people just, they look stupid as hell. Some of them, they hate, their body is not curvaceous like yours. You know, they're doing a lot to try to get attention, and they have literally... they have had no apprehension around this. This has been super wasteful, okay? So we have create. I'm hearing that this yielded to nothing. They literally have not had any results from this you know, addiction that they've had, okay? I'm hearing something about you. You have psychic power, or you're extremely sensitive. So you already knew what to create around this person who was addicted to you, obsessed with you. You knew, like, you know, that they were in a power struggle, or they had some type of need to control you, or they were obsessed with your home, okay? So this person's name that starts with the letter R, okay? We have physical pain and emotional pain. What are people realizing about you? How to? Somebody's name is Ariana. career and success, 10th house. So I definitely am sensing that, you know, people, it's crazy because the 4th house is, Cancer is ruled by the 4th house, and then we have the 10th house with Capricorn's energy, and we have Cancerian energy, 4th house representing mother and home, and then we have 10th house representing father and your external projection into the world. It's like something about your home. There's a mother, there's a mother and a father in it. And some of these people, they have been getting divorced. They don't have a mother and a father in their home, okay? Some of them, they don't have a partner. Some of them, they have come out as, you know, a lesbian, or they come out as a, you know, same gender, okay? Some of these people, they haven't felt like they've been able to attract a beautiful home, a traditional home. So they're like, it's like we, you know, we're inclusive at Felicia Latrice Tarot. Whatever home that you create should make you happy. Should be your sanctuary. But some of these people, I'm not going to lie, some of these people in the LGBTQ community hate you for having a heterosexual traditional home. Some of your relationships have even been like mother and father dynamics. It's been like you guys have reparented each other. This person has been the father to you, helping you, you know, with your career and success. And you've been like a mother to them, nurturing, sensitive and caring, nurturing their growth patiently with unconditional love. They hate, you know, these people who are obsessed. People are realizing that these obsessed people have been, it's been because of your home life, okay? And maybe you're even realizing this as well, because your home has been pouring so much magnificence out into the world through the 10th house, you know, your career and success, right? They see that that this masculine, for some of you guys, these are third parties, you know, they have been supporting your career and your success. They, you know, they're like, oh my God, I wish I had somebody who could support my career and success. Some of you guys, your business is run by a mogul. You're dating very wealthy, high value partners, and they come in and they activate your crown chakra because they're divine masculines, and they move you beyond the limitations. They either give you financial security, financial support, or they empower you with information or communicate something to you to help you, you know, run your business, or, you know, help you with some type of rational decision making. They support you in the, you know, they support your career. They help you grow. So, you know, they are starting to learn, people are starting to learn that, you know, these are the reasons that people are obsessed with you. What did I say? This Aquarius, right? Very obsessed with you. Archangel Jophiel, your beauty, your hair and your beauty, right? They've been noticing your hair growing, disillusioned. Oh my God. Oh my God. We have third eye chakra on the bottom of the deck. It's like your creation has disillusioned. Your success, your creation has disillusioned this person. It's like, because some of them, this Cancer and this Aquarius, some of them, they were, I don't want to say that they were your teachers, but they may have been doing something before you, or like I said, they were in a power struggle, or they needed to control, or they wanted the authority at this thing that you guys have been doing. But you've come in with your creation and your beauty, and people are starting to see that this person is not as great as they thought that they were, right? This definitely deals with like the outer world. So I'm getting that the outer world has become disillusioned by your creation and your home and your beauty. Your magnificence that you're pouring from your cosmic home, you are the cosmic flower. They are looking at you with clear objectives, inventive energies, intelligence. great dedication to your projects, your social principles. They're seeing you, your abstract thinking, your good judge of character, and you are reforming this environment. Like especially if you're here from Power One, some of you guys are like the standard of quality of work. And so you have been reforming this collective, this niche. You have been testing their conventions, and you've done it in a very clever way through a third eye instinct. You've had a psychic advantage over this person. You knew something about, that this person was obsessed, or you knew that this person was in a power struggle, and you came in as like an abstract radical thought leader, and your invention that you've created was so beautifully done. It literally disillusioned everybody with this other person that they thought was so great. It's obvious. They're starting to have that, like, people are starting to integrate this inner knowing around this person, and this is what's causing the disillusionment. The third eye activation most recently, around this person who, they were like, oh, this person was just mysterious, or something about them, they weren't able to really see the full spectrum. And then they started to put together some pieces. Some people were trying to ignore the signs. They were pretending not to see. They were like, okay, maybe that's just a coincidence, right? Something that they were doing, like, okay, maybe they came out with a hair care line and now come out with a hair care line. That's just a coincidence. And then people are starting to realize that this was not a coincidence, that this person actually compromised their integrity and honesty and tried to attack you for being beautiful and having a beautiful soul and having beautiful creation. And they're starting to look at this person, they're like, why did you do that? Like, you've just been obsessed and materialistic and having volatile mood swings and cranky because you were not the radical thought leader, that you were not the authority. Something where you came in and you quickly became the market authority. You quickly became the best. People are starting to see that, like, you were not new to this, you were true to this. This was a great dedication to these projects, especially because some of these people, they tried to compete with you for your creation. They tried to steal aspects of your identity, your essence, your home. And people are starting to see that this person was not honest and didn't have integrity. They thought that this was like their invention. They thought that this was cool, what they were doing, but then they realized that it was a result of their obsession and stealing from you. Crazy work. Everybody like, what? They were like, this person is a clown. We don't trust them, right? Your career and success that you've created for yourself, in your home life and your vulnerable side and your beauty and everything that you have is just like showing people your power. And people are starting to understand, like, as you get to the heart of the matter, right? They're like, okay, most of the time people are just like, oh, it's a beef, right? And then you're like, this is not a beef. Like, people, this is not a beef. Some of you guys, you've never talked to these people. Some of these people you've never talked to. And they have just found you, while you were engaging with the outer world, this Aquarius. They found you while you were in the process of creating and engaging with the outer world, showing some clear objectives and intelligence and inventions. And they became a mystery, something where people are realizing with the third eye chakra, through your psychic powers and intuition, you've solved a mystery and got to the heart of a matter of why this person was obsessed with you. Because they were materialistic and envious and had no integrity and honesty. And they hated the fact that you had this invention. And they wanted to try to, like, fight with you for, authority and control. And obsessed with your home and your beautiful relationships. Crazy work. Let's get the tarot and let's wrap. What are people realizing about your power too? What are people realizing about your power too? Yeah, you're the authority. You're the boss. This person who was trying to fight for control, you're literally nowhere near. People were trying to, like, they had the inner knowing because they kept seeing that this person, something where they were trying to display something. This person, I'm hearing that they kept showing up without, like, and it's clear who had, like, the clear objective and intelligence and invention. And this literally made you the authority. They're like, everybody's like, you're the boss. Okay, I'm hearing the head feminine in charge. You know, through your creation, you know, it's like you coming in, you like touch my crown again, and it's a wrap for you. They're like, the boss don't play. Okay, the boss does not play. You about realizing that you're the boss, and so you being the best at something, you being the authority at something, you being the radical thought leader, that these other people, they just were looking cranky and mad. Like, they were just angry and they got disillusioned, right? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, because they tried to come for the boss. They missed a major opportunity for friendship and kinship. They could have been, you know, your employees, your elite employees, right? They could have been your employees. It could have been an opportunity for them to create a synergetic relationship, right? But because they were, you know, invested in something wasteful, like a competition, you know, your creation and inventive and intelligence and clear objective was never to be competed with. They were never one. Okay, they were never one. They were never in the top. Some of these people who didn't believe you, they feel like they missed a major opportunity because they're finally evolving. They're like, they had to sit back. Some of these people, they had to integrate this inner knowing. They were naysayers, right? I feel like a part of this was their apprehension. They were like, okay, you know, you're new or something like that, or, you know, we're not sure about something, you know, especially because you have this beauty, right? You know, a lot of people always make the beautiful person the bad guy, right? You're always the bad guy because of these weaker and less fortunate people. But the truth is, they have been violent, aggressive. Some of them have been, you know, when people realize that this person, you know, has been posing as a safety issue to you, they were like, this person has had an addictive pattern over their authority. Excuse me, they've had an addictive pattern, you know, to have authority over their inner spirit and compromise their integrity and honesty, and started to stalk and like harass and steal and, you know, intimidate Pal too. This person has literally been like, you know, they feel like you've had to like confront this person's addictive behavior. And it was like the beauty of God that allowed you to create this, like something where, you know, people are realizing that, you know, you were divinely protected and that no one can fathom what you have created. It was like it was God's plan, right? Through this third eye activation and this psychic advantage, you know, especially for those who were dealing with a safety issue because somebody was literally addicted and obsessed, right? And now this person is realizing like that, you know, that they cannot, you know, compete with the boss, and they cannot, you know, whatever they were doing, you know, was wasteful. And it led to like them missing an opportunity. And a lot of them, they have lost wealth. They've lost support. You know, they're not growing anymore. You know, you guys have finally got to the matter of this situation, this unconventional relationship that you've been in, or this unconventional, you know, leadership position that you're taking up. Some of you guys, you just represent a challenge of the status quo. You're testing the social convention. So a lot of naysayers, you know, they were not sure about you, but you ultimately gave them a disillusionment. You know, this was crazy. Everybody's evolving and gaining a higher awareness after becoming disillusioned by this Aquarius who's been, you know, compromising their integrity and honesty and stalking you for having a beautiful home and a beautiful life and being a radical thought leader and creating something inventive. You know, they were just a loser trying to steal from you, right? They were just materialistic, trying to harm you, and, you know, struggling with an obsession around the boss. That's what I'm seeing, Pal 2. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the Mediator. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in both personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. I'm here strategic. Strategic. These are a lot of people who are seeing you in your masculine energy, and they seeing you shake hands a lot, okay? They seeing you doing business, and they seeing you getting a fair deal, okay? Some of y'all, they can't believe how you acting when you're doing your business. Like, somebody's next time letter N. I'm getting something about you. You be doing business and you're doing a lot of transactions and you like, yeah, masculine energy, authority, okay, period. Especially if y'all are here from Pal 2. It seems like the powers are really building on top of each other today. So, you know, what I'm getting is like, you know, people are seeing that because you are this fair mediator, that makes you a great authority. You are the true authority. You are powerful, directed, and realized. Excuse me. You are powerful and directed and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. Especially when it, you know, if you sit on one side of the argument, right, you're like, okay, I'll still be receptive and loving and wise towards another argument. That's fair. Okay, I see where you're coming from. All right, and you're like, okay, I see where you're coming from. You know, I see you have a, you know, a different perspective, and you offer a lot of different, you know, insights and valuables as well. Okay, something where people are watching you in the media a lot doing this, fair transactions and something like that. Okay, negotiating your personal and professional life. You know, I'm hearing something about arguing and ruminating over. Okay, arguing and ruminating a lot. So they see, you know, this makes you very respected, and people are realizing that you are the true authority because you have this. You're very fair. I'm hearing you the judge, you the prosecutor, and you the executioner. Something you are literally a great judge of character, and you also make great rational decisions, and you make great decisions on behalf of the collective. That's what makes an authority, not just your experience, but somebody who is able to, who has the vantage point to make the best decisions on behalf of the collective, on behalf of the organization. I'm hearing your organization will thrive over your adversaries. I'm hearing you are thriving over these people who try to come for your authority position. Okay, we have Capricorn energy. Okay, I'm hearing something. Okay, I'm hearing you've been imposing rules. You've been imposing a lot of rules, and you know, and this has, like, there's a lot resulting from this. So you have shown somebody, I'm getting somebody's name is Helen, okay, or their name starts with letter W. Something where you have shown someone your authority. You have had a fair, you know, you've had respect for their argument or their side of something. There's been an argument, or there's been there's been a fight over money or resources. There's been some type of contract up in the air. There's been somebody who has been trying to fight for a contract, or they've been fighting for some type of something. Okay, and I feel like in this litigation, or in this negotiation process, you have put in a lot of rules up. I'm getting something where you have gone no contact with somebody, something where you have taken away your benefits altogether, and I'm getting that there has been a lot that has resulted from these rules and boundaries and limitations and restrictions that you have put up. Somebody here, I don't know, somebody where, if this is a lover, I feel like this person has had a lot of rulership over you, okay, especially if you're in a traditional relationship. They've had a lot of rulership without restraint, or maybe they have grown a sense of entitlement to your care, or something that you have been, your benefit, or something that you've been providing. But I don't know, something where these people have realized the results of your impositions. You have literally pulled out all stops to show these people that you are the true authority. You are the one that is wise, loving, and receptive. You are powerful and directed. Whatever you've done, you've imposed a rule and showed this person where their true benefit is. They're starting to regard you and your resources as the most valuable. And whoever this was that you have been, like, you know, arguing with, or going back and forth with, you're showing them something that hasn't been fair in this negotiation. You're showing them how they haven't been focused on the right things. You're showing them, like, you know, I'm hearing something where you have literally showed them what it feels like not to have you, not to experience you, not to have your benefit. and they are starting to realize like, okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. You're the authority. You have respect for their argument, because some of this was about some changes that you were trying to make too fast, or somebody needed a little bit more time to phase out something. I don't know what that means, but they needed a little bit more time to phase something out, or they needed like, or you realize that this person was coming from a shadow aspect, that they were trying to like stop this negotiation or stop this contract or stop this this fairness in your personal and professional life for some type of like, because they had some type of ulterior motive, or they had some type of personal issue with you. Especially if this person's name starts with the letter H. This person, they hated like something where they realized that you were like getting cherished, or there was a lot of boundaries and restrictions, or there was something like, especially like, I don't know what this could possibly be. I hope this isn't too confusing, but say for example that there is a situation where like, okay, there is you're transitioning a contract, right? Somebody's taking like something where there may even involve a financial gain, and that person isn't prepared to take that financial loss, right? You taking over their financial contracts would mean that they would take a loss. You were like, okay, we understand that you may need some time to transition. You may need some time to replace that, income that you will be losing, okay? Something like that. But you're also saying, hey, while this person is still phasing out or needing to, while there's a delay, then I'm going to put up a lot of rules and restrictions around my benefit and access to me and what I have to offer. Because if something isn't, something isn't fair, it doesn't matter like how long it takes, if there's like, okay, we understand that you need to phase something out or you need more time, but we also cannot comply with that in the short run either. Okay, so it's like, that was the most fair circumstance or something like that. Okay, and they see that since then, since you've been in this negotiation, or since there's been a struggle about something, that you stayed wise and loving and receptive, but you started to focus on something else. You stayed dedicated to achieve. And you have, I'm hearing something where you might not even need their work. You might not even need their cooperation, right? I'm getting something that involves a professional life as well, okay? Pile 3, what are people realizing about you? Okay, and we have Aquarius. Okay. I'm hearing some, this said need alone time, but I'm hearing something. I literally just saw that, like I was saying before, I was like, I read it the wrong way. I thought it said need more time. I'm getting there's something that involves. So I literally just, misread this and said that they needed more time to make a decision. And I feel like, something where you have had respect for their argument, but something about it was not rational. I feel like something that you may have been doing, they saw that you were tolerating them. You were, I don't know, I feel like after imposing some rules or, considering your other options, you realized that like something that they were doing was disconcerting anyway. Something that they were doing, they were defiant of your authority. They were doing something to cause you to feel unsettled, or, that was actually, I don't know, something where you learned that there was like, they were more of a burden than they were helpful. And in reality, like you may have had, deep feelings attached to the situation, but once you detach from the situation and you learn some type of, I don't know, you started having, creative fun elsewhere, and you started to learn what things would be like without this responsibility, or you persevered through something else. You learned that something that they were doing was disconcerting and defiant, and it was burdensome, or they were not compliant, and something was just you learned that it was not, you kind of felt like it wasn't worth it after imposing these restrictions and detaching yourself from the matter or something. Okay, so I'm getting that for some of you guys, this person has needed to like, they needed more time to make a decision. And it's been like a long time, you know, something where they needed to like, you were like their number one or something like that, or you were the most rational decision, or you were the best option that they had. And they've been taking like a long time to like make a decision, and it's been very unsettling, and you've been having to like persevere on your own, and you've like detached a lot since then, and you know, kind of realized that like if this person truly cared about like your well-being or your greater purpose, you know, this, it was like, that's a, I feel like that was like a sign, like them needing to like have all of this time to make a decision, or them, you know, something about it, you realize that it was like, it was a no. You're like, okay, I'm happy I detached myself from this, right? Or you realize that something about you was just tolerating them, or tolerating the situation, and it wasn't fun and creative, and you know, you had this, like, you had to persevere, or something that there was a delay in the fairness, it was a delay in some type of professional or personal matter, and you're like, I have to keep growing, like this, I have to keep growing. And this person, like, I'm hearing that you remain self-reliant. People are realizing that you remain self-reliant, detached, independent, and had like the dedication to achieve and persevere on your own. And they see that you've been still having a lot of fun, you know, being very creative still, after they were like a no. You're like, okay, if you couldn't make a decision and you knew that something was time sensitive, right? I'm getting that like, you're like, you have respect for their side of the argument, but you're also like, something about them was imprudent and disconcerting and defiant. And you thought that it should, like, it was, you thought that it should have been a decisive thing. You thought that it should have been some type, you know, especially because some of you guys were like involved in the day-to-day realities, and this is not something where you can wait months and it's been like a whole year or 2 years, and this person hasn't been able to like make a decision, and you're like, that's a huge no for me. Like, to leave pile 3 persevering and like you not making a decision around something that is necessary, or like a need that like pile 3 may have, and they, like in their day-to-day reality, they were like, this was like super irrational. Okay, or they were super like insensitive to what you needed, and this was like a huge sign that this was not the right situation. And this person, I'm hearing something that they were doing was contradictory or egotistical, and you learned that this person, that they were like, you know, it was, you were not really happy and creative in the situation. It was like, you know, this person was a community association, or you were tolerating them, or you were, I don't know, maybe you were confused at first, and then after detaching and persevering on your own, you know, you realize the greater purpose of all this. I'm getting something where this, your relationship or this situation is personal, professional, mediation. You were the authority in the situation, and you were the one that could make the best decision. You knew, you were the one that had the vision around the greater purpose. You were the one that had the vision around the collective good, the collective, the collective good. And this person, they were doing something defiant or like unsettling, and left you like to be self-reliant, right? And you realize that like, okay, I you know, something about them, they were the ones that are left like in the need. They're the ones that are like a high risk. They're the ones that are failing. They're the ones that's not doing good. And they see you persevere and, you know, find innovative solutions, or, you know, break some type of boundary and barrier that you've had, and you realize like maybe this person was confused too, and that, like I said, you were the authority, you were the one to see the vision. Maybe they weren't able to see the vision at first, right? And this was like a sign that this was like not the right partner or not the right situation for you, because you felt like their decisions or their behavior lacked empathy, or like you know, you realize that they did not have deep feelings or deep emotions tied to it when I'm hearing something where they went off and chose something irrational, or they went off and started to like, they took some like poor decisions, some naive risk, and they went back to a third party, or they went, like, they wasted a lot of time. Like, this like showed you that this person was not rational, or something that they were doing was defiant. Maybe they went off with a third party or did something to defy you on purpose, because they knew that you were the, you know, authority, right? Or they just assumed that you were going to be wise and loving, and then they realized that, like, after like persevering and being self-reliant on your own, they realized that they couldn't come back. They realized that you grew so detached to the point where you grew cold. Some of them, after you detached and left, or, you know, put up a lot of boundaries and rules around this situation and got out of the day-to-day reality with them, you started having more fun and creation. They're realizing that, like, some of you guys, they're realizing that you're like famous, or they're realizing that you have, like, you're destined for fame, or that you have like a big mission or greater purpose, and they feel so dumb after making those poor decisions, right? It's like something where you may have, like, people are realizing that you concealed, or you kept some, like, in this mediation, you kept some of your cards behind your back. You didn't show all of your hand. And I feel like it wasn't because you had an ulterior motive with this mediator or hidden agenda. I feel like it was because you wanted this person to show their true colors, and they did. Okay, so yeah, this person's name that starts with letter W, this Scorpio. Okay, yeah, that's what did I say? They're realizing that all of this, like, time that you were, like, negotiating with them, you were planning for your destiny, and after leaving them and them needing more time to, like, make a decision or something, like them not being decisive, or, like I said, them being confused or lacking empathy and prudence around, you know, your day-to-day reality, you know, it may have been a complex situation, but, you know, they're starting to realize that, like, you know, after detaching and becoming independent, you were like, you moved on, and, like, more of your destiny revealed, more fame. I mean, you got more fame, or you got more recognition. You grew. I'm hearing something where you literally grew. I'm hearing something, especially where you shared a house with somebody. Okay, they saw you persevering. You know, they saw you in the day-to-day reality, but they didn't realize that you were persevering towards this greater purpose, right? Some of them, they saw you crying a lot. Okay. And like I said, they lacked empathy and a disregard for your feelings. Some of them, they had an ego dystonic complex when it came to you. And, you know, some of the, especially with the seeking guidance, you see how it looks like they sitting on the couch talking to a therapist. Some of them, they definitely need to go to, like, therapy, or you've been, like, this person's therapist as this authority and this mediator. Like, something where you were, like, you had to, like, impose some rules, put up some boundaries and restrictions, and teach them, like, how they were not, like, being empathetic, how they were not, like, holding themselves responsible for their own, like, you know, their own behavior. Like I said, this person has an ego complex, so their, you know, reality is not matching. Like, they literally, their ego is in, like, their psyche is in dystonic parts. Like, their ego is not matching their, like, ego is not, like, they have not optimized their heart and their mind. So this person is they're often very confused. So some of them, they may, like, they went off with somebody whose name starts with the letter A or something like that. And I'm getting that they took a huge risk and gamble on this connection. And then, like, they didn't know that you had this greater purpose. And then they didn't know you had this philanthropy, greater purpose, and community association. And their, like, ego was exacerbated when they saw that you were, like, highly acclaimed. Like, something where you left them, had to persevere to achieve after they were not fair, or, you know, after they were not, like, they saw you persevere after they're, like, they needed more time for something. They needed to seek guidance or something like that, and you're, like, more of your destiny unveiled, and, like, you know, I'm hearing some more of your destiny unfolded, and they just grew so, like, I don't know, they saw it. Some of them, they saw you on a social media account, or they saw you do something innovative after leaving them. Here, some of you guys went and got another degree, or you went and got smarter, got hotter, okay? 10th house, they literally watched you have career success, okay? After, like, they, like, something where you could have had a professional relationship with them. I'm getting a masculine. right? And they could have helped you serve your greater purpose around your career and success, but they did not. I'm hearing that they were not compliant and tolerant, and so I'm hearing that this was like a paradox, because it was like they were under, like, you realize that they were like under a complex, or they were duplicitous, because it was like, oh, some of you guys may have, like, they were acting under like one set of feelings, but while experiencing another, right? Like I said, something that you realized was egotistical. It was not it was not matching the reality. It was a paradox. How they claimed to like want the best for you, how they claimed to be supportive of you, right? They claimed to be receptive, wise, and loving towards you, right? And then they turned around and like didn't help you when you needed it the most. I'm getting something about this may have involved your business or involved their business, okay? Right? Trendsetter, right? You're famous trendsetting beauty and brains in this pitch. Like I'm hearing they took a major L, right? Their mental health, they're, like I said, they don't have psychological wellness. They're often very confused. So some of this person, yeah, they're very egotistical, projected onto you, yeah, this Scorpio, projected onto you because of your beauty and brains. And then they saw you, like, they were like, with the seek guidance, especially some of these people that you were dealing with, they were very irrational and very confused, and they were not like, they were not like, this was a sign, I don't know, this paradoxical behavior was a sign that this person wasn't well. Like some of them, they were claiming to want the best for you. They were acting like they was cool with you in person, right? They was acting like you probably could not tell that it was no issue on the surface, and then you realize something about like the way that they acted, or the way that they didn't follow through in this negotiation, right? How they didn't show up for you when you needed them, and you had to persevere and be self-reliant. And once you detached, you realize that this person was mentally ill, okay? I'm also getting this other person who, like, especially if you're here from Power 3, this person, this Aquarius, this person, they have been impacting your psychological and emotional wellness, because they have been, they've been mentally ill around your beauty and brains and your trend setting, okay? So let's wrap, y'all. I hope I wasn't repeating myself too much. All they saw was the dedication to achieve, and now you are like your destiny is unfolding as this beauty and brains trendsetter, okay? Who is very well, and they're very like, their paradoxical behavior came to light. You're like, something is not matching the reality. They're not, especially for some of y'all who are here from Power 2, this person's claiming to be successful. We're not seeing a successful reality, Aquarius, okay? We're not seeing it. We're not seeing it. Oh well, let's wrap. The Lovers, okay, yeah. I definitely feel like you took a journey with this person, especially if this was a lover, okay. They were very confused with the Seven of Cups. I don't know who this was, but this person, I'm hearing they were very confused, and they had the illusion of some type of other options. They were out. I'm hearing that these people were they needed more time to make a decision around their options. And you're like, you don't have any other options. Like some of these people, they literally, I'm hearing these other options were not, I'm hearing you were everything that this person ever wanted. And these other options were nowhere near. I'm also getting that they did not make sense either. And you took yourself out of this person's day-to-day reality so that they can release the illusion of their other options, okay? They're definitely a lover. I feel like you guys do have unconditional love with one another. But I feel like this also involves their choice and decision making. I'm getting that after detaching and becoming self-reliant, you're good on them, okay? Or you meet, like, especially this Scorpio, like they were a burden or something like that. Something where you took care of this person's injury or something like that. I don't know, something about that. But like you realize that their defiance, and like this was a lot of them, like you were this person's everything, and they projected onto you because you were like the authority, the beauty and brains, and this was like, this other options was an illusion. This was literally just a defiance. It was not because they actually desired any other option. It wasn't actually because any of these other options were viable. right? And it looks like they're just a king. They're not an emperor, right? They're just a knight and a king. They're not an emperor, right? They were like, I'm hearing that they were not empathetic and they were not imprudent. And this was literally just like, people are realizing that this person was literally just defying your authority. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, pile 3. Let me know how this Aquarius, especially who wanted to be in competition, who became obsessed. If this is not a lover, this person was literally just trying to defy your authority because they hated the fact that you were the beauty and brains trendsetter, the abstract radical thought leader, and they were just a loser, not successful, not attractive, not employed. Okay, you know, especially this person's name that starts with letter A or something like that. Okay, anyways, that's what I'm seeing, pile 3. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the Samaritan. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Okay, so somebody's name starts with letter N or letter E. I feel like, you know, people are realizing that you don't want to be bothered by, you know, most of the time. You know, people, I mean, you consider them to be birds, or you consider them, I don't want to say that you think that you're like better than other people, but people are literally like, it's kind of just like you prefer to associate with people who are on the same level as you. People are starting to realize that you have been refining your capacity to help these people. Some of these people, they will bogart their way into your life. Like, you'll try to ignore them, or you'll try to disregard them, or you literally don't even have to try. You just don't care. You literally are ignoring, right? But it's like some of these people, they want your attention really bad. Somebody's name is Aaliyah or Sage, or they have a name that starts with letter B. It's like you would rather ignore these people. It's like you don't have a lot of respect for them. You don't watch them. You may keep, like, something about you kept tabs on someone, or you came across their information once and then you never really like stayed up to date on what they were doing or something like that. Like, you started to ignore these people. Somebody's name is Aaliyah. You started to ignore them. You weren't really keeping up with them, and then you realized that they was like doing something to like bogart their way into your life. Like, these people have been these people have been wanting your attention really bad, and you're like, okay, well, since you want my attention so bad, how can I help you? Okay, how can I help you? But some of these people, like, they want to be in your like inner circle really bad. They want to be like your friend, and they feel so like rejected by you because like when you ignore them or you don't like regard them, you don't like, they're never really like, I don't know, something where they're never in your conscious, like they're never in like your reality. They feel like this is like so bothersome to people because it makes it like they internalize even more. It makes them feel even more inferior, you know, that the fact that you don't pay attention to them. This Capricorn, it's like these are people who need your help, or these are people who you're like, okay, I hear you, like you might be talking about, like, some of you guys are teachers, like some of you guys are like, but you feel like you always have to be in like a teaching position most of the time. Like, you always have to like educate somebody, refine them in some type of way, you know, help them see the error of their ways. It always feels like you have like children. I'm hearing these bitches is your sons and you don't want custody. Okay, it's like you quite literally don't want custody of these people, and they just force themselves, like they force custody onto you because they need your help in some type of way, or they just cannot, like they're like energy vampires, like they drain you for their psychic survival. And it kind of is just like, okay, how can I help you? People are realizing that you ignore a lot of people. We have prosperity, and I think it's because, you know, people see that you're so prosperous. You have a lot of prosperity, and it's like you are ignoring, it's like you ignore people who are not prosperous. Like, you can tell that like this person, like these people are not, you know, they don't have the inclusion of everything that makes their body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing with joy. They know that, you know, that they're not expressing themselves in joy and celebration and the abundance that, you know, and riches that the universe has provided you. these people, I'm getting the like, especially like people, some people here have been like envious of your food and your indulgences, your art, your artistic life, and you know, your dilettante, you as a dilettante perhaps. And I feel like you're surrounded by a lot of people who just don't have as much as you, right? And it's not just about financial, you know, in financial terms. This is about you being happy, right? It's like we don't talk to people who are miserable. We don't talk to people who are jealous of our face. We don't talk to people, because I feel like a lot of this is around you, like, I don't know, something about, you might be a Virgo is what I'm hearing, but you're surrounded by a lot of people who don't have as much as you, right? And so you have been refining your capacity to help these people, because honestly, there are more greater dangers and risk outside, you know, because like people are not helping each other. So I feel like you have been just sharing your life's riches. Some of you guys are here from Power One. I'm getting that you are celebrating your abundance and you're sharing, you know, a wealth of information to help people become more prosperous, because these people will literally just sit by and with violence, aggression, and anger, you know, because they're not having a beautiful life like you are, and they're not having a prosperous life, right? So you're like, okay, let me just help y'all so y'all can stop being so violent and aggressive because you don't have the things that you need, right? Right, you're literally the opposite of scarcity. Scarcity breeds violence. So you're so prosperous, you're not violent, right? So I feel like you're dealing with a lot of people who try to like, who use violence or use aggression because they're not prosperous. So I feel like people are realizing that like most of the time you don't feel like, you know, you don't always want to be in a teaching position. You don't always want to have to educate somebody in order to talk to them. Like, so a lot of times people are catching you ignoring people. Like they feel like you're straight up disregarding them, straight up ignoring them, pretending that they don't exist, not speak. Some people are like, you know, they're speaking to you and you're like not speaking back is what I'm hearing. So, and it's because you are like protecting your energy, protecting your wealth. And yeah, what did I say? The second house, right? This is about your, you know, your possessions and getting what, you know, you get what you want and you get what you need, you know, through the second house. And these people, you know, they see that you have a lot to offer, right? And so like when you disregard them and don't like ignore them, they feel like you have rejected that offer from them. Like they feel like they are not getting an offer from you. So if you give, people will literally get so angry at you because they see you as, they can tell that you're enjoying celebration. They can tell that you have everything, you know, everything that you want, everything that you need, that makes your heart, body, mind, and spirit and soul sing with joy. And so when you ignore them, it makes them so mad because they feel like they are getting rejected. They feel like they're not getting an offer from you, and they're not. It's like you don't. It's like some of you there. You know, it's like I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it, and you don't have to. Yeah, what did I say? Some of y'all are Virgo. Okay, it's like some of you guys, you are so hardworking and consistent and persistent. And all these other people who don't have prosperity, you just look at them as if they're not hardworking people. You're like, I don't care about like, you know, I don't care, you know, if you're like, something about people are realizing something unsympathetic about you, right? Because of how like hardworking, practical, methodical, organized you are, and how you are always motivated to fulfill your obligations. You just are seeing so many people in society that are not very innovative. They're not, some of them, they have a difficult time recognizing their mistakes. And some of them are boring and obsessed and impatient and just irritated and violent and aggressive at you for having a nice life and the things that you worked for. Like people are literally starting to realize that people have grown violent and aggressive towards you for the things that you worked for. And it's like, you know, you did not work for this, so you cannot expect to have prosperity and like resources through the second house that you literally did not work for. Like people are like realizing that you worked tirelessly for this prosperity, and so you have been just looking at them like you're not a hardworking, innovative, and sincere person, and this is why you literally don't have anything. Some of these people, I'm hearing something where, you know, I'm getting that these are people at work, or, you know, they hate you for having a method and a professional aesthetic. And it's like, you literally studied your ass off for this. You literally worked so hard for this, right? Your organization thrives because of the, you know, method and the groundwork and the research and the, like, patience that you've had to, you know, to fulfill, you know, and how you've, you know, the patience that you had to fulfill, and, you know, like, the obligations that you've had, you know, and the sense of duty that you've had. So yeah, I forget what we left off, pal, for, but I definitely feel like, you know, you have just, like, not been wanting to, like, associate with most people. They see, their people are realizing that you are just being a good Samaritan most of the time. Like, if you do engage with these people, you know that most people are not coherent. They don't have the optimal ability to bring, you know, to harmonize the frequency of their minds and their hearts, and they don't have efforts, and they don't have, you know, developing values, and they don't have continuous progress and improvement in their life. They're not in the everyday details. They're not smart. They're not methodical. They're not functional and efficient. You're typically are surrounded by very chaotic people who don't work, right? And, you know, most of the time you're very unsympathetic towards them. So, like, if you do engage with them or help them or talk to them, you're literally just being a good Samaritan, okay? You're like, I'm going to just refine my capacity to help you, even though, like, I don't really want to or care to, because I know that you are not actually, like, a person who's committed to evolution. I know that you're not really, you don't really have a sense of duty or obligation. You don't have a good routine, and you're clearly not thriving. So people are noticing, like, you know, your role in society most often than not is to be the good Samaritan. Oh my God, that's crazy, powerful. Like, it's like you're highly developed, and it's like most people are not prosperous and developed the way that you are, okay? And they don't know that this has been a very patient process. Some of these people, they just see you as functioning, routine, on a routine, beginning classes, planning for the future, you know, getting into your everyday details and stuff like that. People don't know that this has been like a long process of hard work and, you know, development and, you know, becoming functional, like, at this part. Like, they don't know that, like, at this point, they don't know that this is actually, like, you know, this, you having these things that you need has been a long process of you getting these things that you need. So some of these people, you might even come across them, right? And they see you functioning with a good routine and having everything that you need, and you'll see them start gearing up and start doing something chaotic and reckless, like overspending beyond their means and their budget to try to compete with, like, your resources through the second house. And then you're like, you see them very clearly that they are not, that they did not have they were not rational, that they were not methodical, that they were not hardworking. You can see that they weren't very innovative, especially if they start showing up with your work, right? If they start showing up with, you know, aspects of your prosperity or your resources, like if they show up in your outfit or they show up in your clothes, like, people, you'll literally see people who are seeing you maybe on a routine or at work or out in society, and they start showing up looking like you, and, you know, with your style and your methods for doing things. And you just realize, like, especially this person, somebody's name is Ashley, not very innovative, not organized, and not into the everyday details, can't read and write, and has no obligation or duty. And they see your work and routine, and it's so well developed, right? So they are, like, deeply triggered by your stardom, and you're, like, very unsympathetic towards most people. Like, if they see you out in society or work on a routine, right? A lot of these people, you are looking at them, and they start taking, like, these really, like, foolish risks towards you, and you're like, I hate that I have to be the, like, it's like, and then they'll try to do something to compete with you or compare to you in some type of way by copying your outfit or, like, showing up as you or doing something not innovative. I don't know. This could be a lot of different scenarios, but it's like, you were previously ignoring them, right? And I'm getting that, like, something about them, you were previously ignoring them, and then they show up with something that you've done, and you're like somebody tried to copy your wine or something like that, something about your wine from the night before. Something about these people try to copy your wine or your food, or they literally try, like, they are literally not innovative. And like your prosperity, I don't know, like this is so much. Okay, sorry y'all, let me calm down. So I'm getting that like there's somebody here who is showing, who sees you with everything that you need. And they don't realize that this was a patient process, and that this is an expression of your joy in yourself and a celebration of your abundance and riches. They don't realize that this was a highly developed, like this was representing the process of you becoming highly developed. So some of them, they will literally go out and overspend. Like you see them, they start buying up stuff. You know, they start coming in with a bunch of new stuff, or they start buying clothes, shoes, and products and stuff like that to try to mimic your routine or to try to mimic how you work. And they don't realize that this was a long journey. I'm hearing 3 to 6 years, you know, how you act, right? This is a long journey of you becoming this developed person, right? This was related to your developing values, related to your coherence and your effort. So them trying to like just mimic something, it's not actually embodied. It's not actually coherence. It's not actual development, right? These people are very chaotic and disorganized, and they see your routine and your work and your sense, your like functioning and your professional and rational, methodical and hardworking approach, and how constant you are. They'll do something to try to mimic that, but they can't do it on a constant basis because it doesn't reflect their coherence. It doesn't reflect actual development. So like you'll see somebody try to mimic something, and then they'll see you consistently produce with that strategy, or they'll see you doing something and that represents that like it was well thought out, that it was well developed. So a lot of these people, they're irrational, and it's difficult for them to recognize that this is a mistake, right? It's difficult. Like, so they often will project onto you and won't hold themselves responsible, right? They'll see something, right? They'll see your routine and your beauty or something like that, or your prosperity, and they'll get triggered and they'll do something irrational, right? It causes them sadness and anger, and they're not able to like, and you're just like this serious, sincere, stable person, and they're watching you, makes you like, watching your prosperity and having everything that you need and want makes them so angry, like, and you're just like, also you're just like ignoring them and not like offering them help, or like you're not helping them develop. And it's because like you don't care, right? You're like, well, you need to kind of go through the process of refining yourself. You need to kind of go through your own, trials and errors. You need to go through your own, experiences and truth seeking journey. You need to go on you need to go and do the hard work, right? You need to go and innovate your own thing. So these people who you're dealing with are not very innovative, okay? They're not very innovative, and they're not organized and methodical. They are not making sense. And they don't have a true coherence. They don't have a true development, and they don't have a true motivation to fulfill their obligations. So they'll do something in a rush, and it is not a true fulfillment of their obligations, right? So they get real triggered when you take rest too, because they know, like, I don't know, something about you they get real triggered when you take rest. Like I said, you see this wine glass, something where they saw you drinking wine, this Capricorn, or somebody, they saw you drinking wine and they tried to mimic your wine from the night before. They tried to mimic your your class, okay, your riches. They're trying to mimic your social class and how you act, okay. Something about your hair wraps and headbands and your facial mask, and I'm hearing your diamonds. I'm hearing your sterling silver jewelry and your diamond earrings or something like that. I'm hearing some of these people are very into the details of your like routine and like your classes and your life, like, and how you like produce, like what you are producing. They'll look at all the details, and they're like, something about them staring at all of your resources, or staring at all of your belongings. So some of you guys have like restricted access to them seeing this, so they are just like, they feel even more rejected, because just like you will not help them by showing them the details. You will not help them by showing them like, your routine, or like showing them what you really have. Like, some of these people, they see that you have this routine that you do on a daily basis, or something that you do, and that is like leading to your like, or like it's very organized. Like you're very organized and you're very functional and you have everything that you need. I don't know, this keep coming back, something about you have everything that you need. And like seeing you rest and seeing you have everything that you need, like it's like you're just like basking in that celebration when you rest. And like watching you, you know, you're like, okay, you did all this hard working to become like this developed like person. And like seeing you rest, and like they know that it's because like, I don't know, something about seeing you rest, it's like you're okay taking rest because you know that your method for doing things is like is evolving you on a constant basis even when you rest, right? I don't know if that makes sense. It's like you resting shows how stable you are. You resting like shows how stable you are, and how, you know, like how, like I don't know, how balanced you are at work and at home. It's like these people cannot handle like your routine. Something about your self-care as well represents how feminine you are. Taking a bubble bath, drinking wine, you know, watching television on your iPad or tablet. Like something about a bath routine. Some of them, they know that you're very like, you're perfectionist, so everything it looks is so highly developed, y'all. I don't know what else to say, but it's like something about you have been like refining your capacity to help people without giving them like all of the details of your like experience, right? Because you know that these people surrounded by you that you're ignoring, it's like you're surrounded by these like people that you ignore, and you're like resting and, you know, doing your work and doing your duty and like celebrating, you know, your abundance and your riches and having everything that you want and need. And they're just sitting there in scarcity and just like watching your work or watching your routine, and not like stuck in these 6 cycles of neglect, and like you literally have been ignoring them. And you're like, you've been thinking about it, you're like, oh well, I feel so bad for them, you know. But it's also at the same time like you feel bad for them, but at the same time it's like you're kind of unsympathetic. Well, at work, more Virgo energy for me at least. Like more Virgo energy. But it's kind of like you're unsympathetic towards them because like you kind of know that they haven't been putting in the work. It's like, go, they will do anything but read a book. Like I'm getting that these people, I'm hearing that some about you, like I know you have been refining your capacity to help them. You're like, okay, you know, some people, it is not about the fact that they're lazy and not hardworking, right? But it's kind of like you would prefer to ignore them. You're like, you were like, okay, you're kind of like, people are realizing that you have been, you know, you've made the decision to help. Like it's like you would usually ignore them. You would like, you're usually not having, you know, a sympathy for them, okay? Because it's kind of like somebody, Beyonce, lol, okay, in that order, honey. Okay, it's kind of like, you know, you are so good at everything that you do, and they can tell that you are like a perfectionist and that you're organized and you are routine and methodical, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they're so chaotic and angry around you. You know, I don't know if all of this is the fact that they're lazy and hardworking. Some people are just chaotic and don't know, you know, how to, like, they don't see their mistakes. Like, it's so weird that they don't see their mistakes. Like, some of them have made some foolish mistakes around you when they, like, saw you and your working routine and saw how abundant you are and prosperous you are, and they started doing something weird around you. Like somebody here came around and started doing something weird around you. Somebody's name is Agnes. It's like when they see how organized and hardworking and constant you are, it's like it's like you're so functioning. Like you're so functioning. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. Powerful. It's crazy, right? But like I said, with this Aries energy, this has been coming out so much. You are their leader, so you'll have to be very assertive with a lot of these people, because, you know, while you're there to help, you know, you're refining your capacity to, like, you know, to help them. You know, these are the people who are in the same breath aggressive, violent, right? You know, they're angry with Aries energy. You know that they're angry, you know, at your, you know, at your innovation, at your organization, at your, like, you know, your good life, your prosperity, right? And so you're like, you know, some of them, you know, you would prefer to ignore them because you know that they're aggressive and violent and angry. Like, you're just like, okay, get the fuck out of my face. Like, I really don't have no, like, something about you, you don't really have no sympathy for these angry, aggressive people, because like, why on earth would you grow aggressive and angry? Like, why on earth would you do, like, something about it be so wild, like it'd be like a blatant jealousy, and you're just like, something about your social class, right? It's like people are starting to realize that people from your social class act like that, right? Like you have a different kind of value. I'm hearing, you know, some of y'all, they ain't got the coof. So some of them, they can't even, like I said, they're not innovative, and they're not able to recognize their mistakes. So like some of these people, you know, you would prefer to ignore them because you know that they're not even conscious, right? They just sitting there angry, seeing your prosperity, right? And you're like, what? Some of them are masculine and you very feminine. And you're just like, get off. Like, please back up off me, hop off of my D. Because this is like a lot. Like, you just trying to do your work and routine, and there's somebody who is being like angry and violent, like, and I'm getting that something where you have, like, if you have to like do a routine around somebody, or you have to work around somebody, you'll need to be very assertive, or like you'll need to like, don't become disempowered in this situation, because like you can sense how angry and aggressive they are, and you've never done anything to them but celebrate your life and your joy and the abundance and your riches and having the things that you need and want out of life. And it's like these, you know, that this is irrational, because these represents, you know, things that you've worked for, right? I think this is why you're a little unsympathetic, because it's just like clear that these people have not worked for anything, and that's why they don't have anything, okay? And they're not innovative, so all they can do is try to mimic your class, mimic your, you know, mimic your status, mimic your, like, you know, stability, mimic your sense of duty, mimic your work, right? You're literally, like, somebody's name is Ashley, they're literally just like mimicking your work. It's like, you're nothing but a dupe, you're nothing but trash, you're nothing but like, you know, somebody that I'm gonna, like, you're a dupe, you're like, like, Power 4 is the standard, you're the prosperous one, and they're literally just like sitting there mimicking you and angry and aggressive, you know, because they don't have an organization, because they don't have, like, you know, prosperity, like, they're literally like, they don't have a man, some of them, okay? They're not feminine, they're not sincere, right? So this is why they don't have anything. So it's kind of like, you know, you have been refining your capacity to help people, because it's like something where you're starting to share in a refined way how you have become so developed, right? You know, some of these people are obsessive as well, right? And this is just like, you're like, nah, especially this copycat. I'm hearing this copycat, yeah, this person, they're like, you know, they're petty, and they have been like, you know, obsessed with your light work and obsessed with your blessings in life, okay? And they see that you, with Jupiter, that you have this higher learning and this higher education and this yin for exploring ideas, and you have ethics and moral values in your organization and a sense of duty, and they're just like, they just see you as a success, accomplished, prosperous, fortunate, right? A light worker. And they just sitting up mad, y'all. Okay? So I'm hearing that they're so obsessed that they'll do anything. I'm hearing like they're just petty. Like, they're just, you know, this pettiness is literally worthlessness. I'm getting especially like somebody who grew violent. This is like this is like an obvious overt envy, and I would be like, somebody in like your social class would never do something like that. Like, you're like, somebody in your social class, or like somebody who has the same prosperity as you would never like do something like that. Especially like try to mimic your whole work and organization. Like, you're literally just like not innovative, and you're very like angry and irritated, right? Okay, so it's like, that's so, you know, they'd be like, you prefer to ignore these people, but some of them, they will get to the point where like they will force themselves onto you with violence, right? They'll be like, oh, you're gonna ignore me, I'm gonna be violent, right? Like, what? Like, back up. You catch a bullet over here now, please don't. Okay, we have the Fool. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, they giving up, honey. They giving up because you over here celebrating and doing too much, right? And they just have been so codependent on you and so petty. Like, they just been so like attached to your work and routine, and they can't keep up. Like I said, some of these people, they go and do something like they don't realize that you're very methodical, and that this is like years of development. And these people, I'm hearing that this person, somebody's name is Ashley, somebody tried to come up and mimic your work and organization. It's like you literally have not explored these ideas at all. Like, You are like a negative. You are like my polar opposite. You are an op. Like, powerful. There's somebody here that's an op that just gave up because they literally have not been like, this person is not thriving whatsoever, right? And you're like this light worker. And I feel like this is your good Samaritan, right? You are like, through this light working, you know, you are refining your capacity to help these people that you would rather ignore. You know, what this really is with the Seven of Wands is energetic disturbance, right? When it comes to you. When people see your work and routine and your exploration of ideas and your ethical and moral values, right? They see you as this pioneer, this innovation, this leader. It creates a lot of disturbance. Like, it literally, you, like, they're the Seven of Wands because they're literally, you are reflecting this person's, you're like this person, you're reflecting this person's pain. And it's like something with your light work is helping you with loving wisdom, you know, release, you know, these, like, really helping people release what stops their happiness, helping them learn from their own past mistakes and releasing, you know, their struggles, right? These people, I'm hearing that these people, they hate the fact, like, you are learning that, like, you know, especially with this beauty and brains and all this great prosperity, that your suffering and struggling will not make you more appreciated. You know, so don't stop taking care of yourself. Don't stop, you know, shining your bright light. Don't stop having a life, you know, that's prosperous. Don't stop including everything that you know, love, you know, that makes your heart, body, mind, and soul and spirit sing with joy. Don't stop expressing yourself and joy. Don't stop expressing yourself in joy. Don't stop celebrating your abundance and your riches that you worked for. This is years of development. This is not no 6 months on the dark web. This is not no dark web infomercial. This is not no, no black magic cloud chaser, right? You are a light worker. This is years of development. This is authority. This is pioneering. This is leadership. These people have not been very innovative at all. They don't have nothing of what they need, and they just have been trying to mimic your social class, mimic your organization, mimic your spirit, because they don't have anything, right? And they don't realize that the reason that they're having these energetic disturbances is because, you know, they're looking at your working routine and realize that they haven't worked for anything. They're looking at your working routine and still haven't, and like, it's helping them realize their mistakes, right? The reason why you're angry and defensive towards someone for having prosperity is because you are still struggling with your own mistakes and pain. And so your good Samaritan, people are realizing that you have been refining your capacity through your light work and helping people, you know, learn, you know, what is stopping their happiness by sharing your loving wisdom. That's what I see in for about what people are realizing about you. Thank you so much. They, you know, whoever this was that was trying to mimic you, your duty or your work, they are literally giving up because you told them that you will get violent if they keep coming for your life and property. For one. For others, you told them that you would put their lights out. You would stop. I'm hearing something where you literally have the authority and you are the pioneer. So something where you have, you know, they're giving up because you have asserted yourself. And, you know, if somebody else tries it, you know, it will not end well for them, because this is years and years of development. This is, you know, this is you finding the pleasure in your details. This is your obligation. This is your sincere and stable and methodical approach. This is your work and this is your routine. If they got a problem with it, they need to take it up with God and they dumbass mama. Okay? Thank you so much, Pal, for it. Let me know how this resonates, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.